NOVRITSCH organized a launch party for their new primary pistol, the SSP5. This together with their 5-year anniversary, and Lisa was invited. A weekend packed with activities, airsoft, meetings, and more airsoft. 3-day trip to Austria, a trip to Czech Republic, and a trip to Slovakia. The perfect weekend for any airsofter and an amazing opportunity to meet new people. Well, that was the idea. Lisa, dealing with Asperger syndrome, anxiety disorder, and panic attacks, made this trip a bit different. In this video, we follow Lisa dealing what was thrown at her. An ugly truth behind her mask, smile, and happiness.
Our trip could finally begin. I parked the car and we are waiting for the train to arrive. The train will bring us up to the airport, and from there we take a bus to another train station where we will be able to walk to the hotel. Because of all the planning before the trip, all the help of NOVRITSCH's crew, Lisa did not have to worry about a lot of things, except of flying, because she's terrified of flying. But a trip shouldn't be a good trip if nothing goes wrong. And suddenly our train stopped in the middle of our trip. And apparently there were people on the tracks, and that made our train to stop. So we made a decision to call some friends that were living in the area so they could pick us up. I remember when I told you that Lisa is afraid of flying. Here she is taking her pill to calm her down in the airplane. Those friends dropped everything that they were doing and picked us up from the station and drove us up to the airport. Thank you very much, because that was the reason why we made our flight. Because when we were at the airport, the train was still stuck at the station. After the check-in and all the security checks, we were able to go into the hall, and it was finally time for Lisa to get some food. And after the food, it was time to start waiting to get on that airplane, and you can see Lisa getting more and more stressed to get into that airplane. And after a short flight from Belgium to Austria, we had to take one more bus, and then we were able to walk to our hotel. Now, the way that we had to go from Belgium to Austria was carefully planned by NOVRITSCH's crew. We only had to pick the right dates and the times, and that was basically it. And that preparation made it a lot easier, a lot less stressful for Lisa to move from Belgium to Austria. After a good night of sleep, it was time to meet up with the others and move up to NOVRITSCH's HQ. Now, to make it easier, I made a list of all the people that were going to be there, so she could put a face on the name of some of the people. It was a small tool to relieve the stress a little bit. It was only a small walk up to NOVRITSCH HQ, and it was really fun to do that with most of the creators that was going to be present. It was a good time to meet the people for the first time in a less stressful environment. It's not easy to explain or understand how a person like Lisa feels when she enters a room where there are so many stimulus coming her way. That's why she needs that little breather before she can enter the room. We also have to remember that it's not only the things that are happening right now that are important or moving in her head. There's also the things that happened in the past that are going around in her head. It's a constant battle of holding yourself together, letting it go, and trying to feel at ease as much as possible.
Dinner yesterday with another two, so it's getting to know the people, and then you can tell them like, okay, chill.
Airsoft is one of the most chill people.
I will, yeah.
It's a fine line between holding it together and breaking down. When breaking down, you have to prioritize yourself and find that space where you can recover. And because the people around her knew that this might happen, there were no questions asked. And finding the strength to get up again and continue is not easy, and it's that daily struggle that will never get better. But she found the strength to continue and get up again.
She's not feeling very well. Then later. Yeah, later. We will do it.
A panic attack uses a lot of energy mentally and physically, and you don't recover from it in a few seconds. You get over that fine line again and take the time you need to recover from it. Here I could do that talking for her and tell people what happened.
Just take a seat, relax. Maybe outside it's more quiet.
Oh yeah, we can take outside. Afterwards.
And people understood and gave her the space she needed right now. But she was still there for the launch of the SSP5, and that needed to keep going. Because if the thing that she was invited for did not go well, that would cause another type of stress. So I'm setting up the equipment for the launch so she can take the needed time. For people like me, talking to people fuels my energy. For people like Lisa, it's draining energy. And Lisa being outside might look asocial, but she's recharging her energy to be able to socialize and taking in information later on.
That's a big thing, that can be an issue. And there is also Wi-Fi in here too, so if you do need any internet, there are some signs up there with the Wi-Fi and password and what. Story, anything you want when it's going on, the pistol or the thing.
And with that, it was time to move up to the next part of the day, and I was visiting the offices and the flagship store. And of course, making a lot of videos. And yes, they have a trampoline.
This is the NOVRITSCH HQ. That's the main office. This is where we moved in, I think it's now 2 years ago, and we slowly start creeping out from here and kind of occupying this whole building. And the idea is that one day this whole compound here is ours and it's our NOVRITSCH campus basically. You know, you call it a hallway, but for us it's a shooting range actually. So you will see, for example, here, all these chains here. So there's actually a process in place to go to shoot. So you have to put up these chains, put them here, so people don't walk into the shots, and they can shoot all day long. Directly to customers in Europe. The product that you're gonna see today was initiated by him. The idea sparks from this genius mind. People who find ways to get it in there somehow, like on the back of the donkey or something. The history of NOVRITSCH 5-year presentation, which is after in the private time after work. They created, actually that's even how today's product was created. It's operating the company, just making everything run, making everything legal. Therefore we need 5 people at this point. That like, keeps me out of prison. Yeah, this is TechCR, so customer relations technical. So
Even though the tour is very informative and is well brought, a brain can meet its limit. And because of the panic attack, Lisa's brain just shuts off and it's not taking in any more information. And the tour continues to the next department, and that is textile.
Hello and welcome. Some of you already know me. You were here last year also in the old building. Design talks.
And in this department we meet the amazing Doug. And he's enthusiastic about anything that has to do with textile, and you can see it, he loves it.
One of my favorite patterns all the time was tiger stripe, always has been.
I like your shirt.
Currently, in today's age, every pattern is digitalized. Even this is a digital pattern because it's digitally made.
He teaches us about camouflage patterns, and he's talking about every little detail, and we love it.
Like this.
Almost!
These should be the same colors, but they are not. So when this happens, of course, there's more work for us.
And we also have the chance to see some things that are coming in the near future, like this poncho with an opening to reach for your chest rig.
Yeah, sick, right? That's such a good idea. When I saw that, I was like, okay, I need one.
In the second room we find more fabrics, more sewing machines, and more stuff that is coming in the near future.
With the prototypes, I come to that later. This is actually the new prototype of our bestseller, the classic rifle cover. Not discontinue our current ghillie suit, which will be, so we have like the entry line, which will be the shoulder piece and the boonie hat. Then we have our normal ghillie suit that is currently being sold, and this will be the premium entry. And it's completely size adjustable on the side.
Oh, that's different.
That's good.
That's different.
That's different.
That's different. Yeah.
And the size adjustable.
We had the chance to see some of the new things that are coming in the future, like this new ghillie suit, the new sniper sleeve, and some other cool items that will be released very soon. People with a passion are amazing to listen to, and he could explain everything so perfectly that it was a shame that we had to go to the next one.
Yeah, in this showroom you can find pretty much everything that we have online. So we just wanted to provide the service of people who want to touch stuff and they don't want to get it otherwise. They can come here, check it out.
Okay, yeah, perfect. There you go. Cool. Right, if you guys want to come with me. So Joseph is doing they're coming out, they're going in.
So the rest.
Yeah, exactly. No.
Next up, the media department. And in this department we got a tour by Joseph. He was showing us the space that is just way too small for the people that are coming in and the things that they are making.
There is our guy, he doesn't like when he call him receptionist because it's too close to the door, so don't tell him that. My room is over there. If you want to peek inside, please do so. It's a very, very tiny room with no windows.
In the front of the space there were all the desks for the people, and in the back of the room there was a lot of stuff and the media recording area.
Alright, so this is the studio, this is where we do everything right now. And as you can see, it's too small. When we need to take pictures, we have to take this table, put it there. When we need to take videos, we change the setup, the light. Now there is a couch, because Chris will be sitting here later, and you can come in your slot and you can do whatever you want.
Sit on his lap.
Content-wise. You know what I'm trying to say?
The tour of the offices came to an end, and it was time for the SSP5 launch. Creators from all over the world are getting their gear ready to broadcast this event all over the world. And also Lisa is getting her gear ready for that event. All the creators have their own way of broadcasting this event. For Lisa, she will be streaming this on Twitch. Besides Twitch, we will also be recording on different devices to have some backup if something goes wrong. We recorded all the voice with a voice recorder that was at the front. We had a GoPro on the side as a backup if the voice recorder should fail. I'm running around with the Canon 80D to do some close-ups for the B-roll footage. Lisa is using her phone to stream everything on Twitch, and we're using the Wi-Fi network that was provided. So we have a lot of technology ready for the big event. Apparently the network was not strong enough to keep the stream going, and Lisa lost connection for a couple of times, so we tried to find a better way. But luckily we could switch to the backup GoPro that was recording the whole event. And before the launch even could start, the SD card gave an error, so the backup GoPro was out of business. Luckily, I still have video from the Canon that showed some reactions from the crowd. While I was filming some B-roll footage, Lisa was setting up her phone again to use a 4G hotspot with a phone that was laying outside of the building. And she got her stream back up again.
Unfortunately, it's top secret, so I am not the one who is able to tell you what's going on now, but we have somebody in the audience who can tell us. So Chris, please come on stage.
Yes, I know it. I can. I've seen it.
After a few minutes, even that 4G connection just died and the stream cut out again. Her head was full of disappointment, things that were going wrong. She tried to fix it. It didn't work, but the event was still going on. I still managed to shoot some stuff with the Canon, and I was going to use the audio from the audio device that I placed at the front. But the audio that you hear now is not from my device, but it's coming from NOVRITSCH's keynote themselves, because apparently my battery died after 2 minutes of recording. If you want to see the full keynote, you can go to NOVRITSCH's channel and there is a full keynote there. So I can't show you the full keynote. The thing that I can show you is the reactions from the people that were in the crowd watching and listening to what they were telling. The focus changed from streaming and getting the content out there to not breaking down in front of all of the people. Lisa is there for a reason. She wants to keep her end of the deal. She wants to create as much content as possible to get it out there to the people that are following her. I can only imagine what is going on in her head right now, but it isn't good. But that doesn't change the fact that the SSP5 was very well received by all creators in the room. And we were going to witness this ourselves in the very near future.
Our newest flagship, also the most pricey one, is the SSP5. For the influencers, every single channel will get an SSP5 right now, so we will all get one. We opened a buffet of accessories and SSP5s, you can make it your own, but Shu will give you more infos on this. So once again, thank you for the entire company. You guys are being great. Then go to town and enjoy the SSP5.
Shopping time! Hey. One of these and one of those. Thank you very much, NOVRITSCH.
Are you happy now?
Very happy.
Every channel didn't only get the SSP5, but they also got a lot of accessories. And with all those accessories, you were able to build your own customized SSP5. The SSP5 can use 0.4 gram BBs and shoot them up to 1.5 joules through a 6.01mm precision air barrel. It has a fiber optic sight, and even when you use a red dot, they will come in handy because they are always visible. The upper is completely CNC aluminium, and this one is a lighter, stronger, and more precise than any casted slides. The slide assembly is the lightest that you can find on the market. It only weighs 66 grams. There is a TDC hop-up, that means that you don't have to take your pistol apart to adjust your hop-up. The fixed outer barrel will make sure that your shots land on target every single time. And of course, all the parts of the system have been optimized to work together at high speeds to ensure reliable BB feeding, and that's something you cannot really do in your DIY garage. The accessories we got with the pistol were the enlarged mag well, the open holster with the universal holster adapter, the red dot plate in black, and the red dot itself. We also got the charging handle to easy cock the pistol and some magazines to test it out. Now you can find all those accessories on the NOVRITSCH website, where you can order the ones you want. But back to the launch party, and there are still some things on the agenda for today. And the next thing is the interview. Every creator was given a time slot for the 30-minute interview. During that time, you could talk about anything that you wanted to use for a video. Because Lisa did not feel comfortable to do the interview, I used the time to not only thank the company, but also explaining what this event meant for Lisa. She got the chance to be herself, and that is not something that is easy to do. The whole NOVRITSCH team put in so much effort to organize this the way they did. So that's why I wanted to say thank you to Chris and the whole team at NOVRITSCH. So instead of an interview, it was more a friendly talk with a fellow airsofter, which was really nice.
Bye.
Start. Just want to eat.
That's gonna go 1, 2, 3, beep, and then you go.
Thanks for this information.
If you're ready.
Will I ever be?
And of course, after getting all the accessories on the pistol, we went to the IPSC range and we tested it out. And the competitive urge between the creators was very fun. Airsofters having a good time with their newly built pistols. And even though Lisa was not shooting, it was a perfect breeder, back to basics of just airsoft and shooting. A place she knows, a place she's familiar with, a place with not too many stimulus to overstimulate her brain. Here, Lisa could recharge her batteries for the rest of the evening.
You're gonna
Still got BBs in there. Keep them moving. Come on, effort, 100% effort. Nice. 2 more. Oh. No.
Nice.
Pretty good.
Oh, that's the fastest time.
In the other room, the 5 years of NOVRITSCH presentation was going on. After the presentation, we got some food, and after the food, it was time for the 5-year anniversary party. But we stopped filming and we enjoyed ourselves at the party. Day 2, and in short, we did not have that much sleep. And we're meeting up with all the other creators in the lobby for the second day of the NOVRITSCH launch event. And today, we're going to the Czech Republic for some CQB Airsoft. But first, let's go to the NOVRITSCH HQ.
Did you sleep here?
No. It's 2 minutes away from here. Bus is coming at 8:45. So yeah, everyone has the cameras, the gear, the magazine pouches, all the good stuff. We're gonna have breakfast at McDonald's on the way.
So the creators and a lot of people that are working with NOVRITSCH are going to the duty arena in Czech Republic for some CQB action. The trip will take about 2 to 2.5 hours to get there, and some people could really use that bus trip to catch up on some sleep. The problems that Lisa faced yesterday will still have a big impact on what will happen today. She might look fine on the outside, but inside she is a hot mess. So it doesn't take long before her first panic attack. So she went outside to take a breather. But there is not that much time because the bus is arriving and we need to get into the bus and start moving to the Czech Republic. And it all felt like I was back in school and we were going on a school trip. We were talking about all kinds of stuff, we were talking about games, we were talking about airsoft, and we even saw some really nice dance moves. Shu tried to make sure that we did not forget anybody, which was not the easiest job to do.
Wait, where do we go? It's over there. Save me a seat, babe. Gary! Cam man. Airsoft cam man.
Wait, I saw him this morning.
He was here. Oh, there's people on there already.
And after everything was loaded into the bus, we were ready to go. Okay, how many different conversations did you hear? Did you hear the plastic wrinkle? Did you hear the laughter? And did you know where it was coming from? If you did and you could ignore it or not think about it 10 minutes later, your brain is prioritizing the important things from the clutter around you. Now imagine that every small input that you get is a high priority input and that you have to process. Add some claustrophobia from being in a closed out bus with people that you just met. Add some stuff in the brain that is not processed from yesterday, from all the things that went wrong and all the things that happened. Well, that creates a perfect mix for a brain meltdown.
So yeah, we chose this game mode that, you know, it doesn't end abruptly after 30 seconds because somehow someone managed something. It's always going to be 10 minutes games, no matter how many points you score.
After this mission briefing, we arrived at the airsoft site itself. And getting out of the bus into the fresh air, but realizing that she has to take the next step, triggered another panic attack for Lisa. She took a bit of time to take that needed breather to be able to function again. But after a second panic attack, Lisa was not able to play airsoft anymore. A panic attack drains the body and the brain, and she has to minimize the outside stimulus coming into her brain. But she also wanted me to have a good time and to be sure that I can shoot some footage. So giving up was not an option. Problem solving and keeping the train going was important. The solution we had was that Lisa would be filming without playing, and I'm playing with her pistol and shoot the footage to show the pistol in action. Lisa also had earplugs in with music to keep the outside inputs to a minimum.
You feeling, Boyer? Like absolute crap. I'm a hot mess.
And being a hot mess on the inside will reflect to the outside. So dark glasses will ease her mind that even if she's a mess inside, people will not be able to see it in her eyes. The games itself were pretty simple but fun, and both sides kept pushing for the points, and we were fighting with the same weapons, so it was up to the player to use all the tricks that he knew. And on the field there must have been a combined airsoft experience for over 100 years of airsoft. And that made it even better. A lot of us had a lot of tricks to use. For me, the SSP5 surprised me on its snappiness and its range. Well, we were shooting 1.5 joules, so it's normal that you get the range, but the accuracy of the pistol on such distances was pretty remarkable. So enjoy this SSP5 pistol gameplay.
Did it hit you on the tip? Right on the tip. Oh.
Thank you. And as you can see, the Irish are not used to this temperature like Canadian Irish.
We're running with 3 magazines and then we got that dude.
weird perspective.
Really? Game ends.
It's actually good. Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. Glad we didn't work through your stomach. No, I never use a pistol at all. Never.
Really?
I only use a pistol as a secondary to go around the corner with my main, even in CQB or a shotgun. But this...
The primary pistol.
Yeah.
It's easy to forget how Lisa is feeling, but coming back into the safe zone and not finding her instantly made me realize that something happened again. I didn't see her on the field the last game, but I didn't think much about it. Asking around who might have seen her didn't get me a lot of information, so I went outside and found her underneath the staircase. I knew what happened, but it's not always clear what the next step is. We're together for 13 years and I'm still struggling with that. She can say that she's fine, just not to make me worry and continue having fun, but it can also mean that she is fine and she just needs a little bit more time to process. And it's that time to process things that is one of the differences on how Lisa goes through her day and how I do it. To explain this a little bit, I will show you two different buckets. We got my bucket and we got Lisa's bucket. The two buckets fill up with things we need to process. That can be something we heard, we smelled, we felt, or we tasted, or just something that we think about. But also the things that happened before, like what happened yesterday. And that's why I can start with an almost empty bucket, and Lisa starts with a bucket that's almost full. I can easily process the important things from the less important things. I can prioritize things, and because of that, my time to process is far less than Lisa's. So I'll show that with a draining hole in the bucket, mine is big and Lisa's small. We all get outside stimulus, but the big difference is that I can filter the things that I don't need to process. The phone call Nick made his mom, the color of the bus, the smell of that one flower. I can filter that out because I don't need to process that. Lisa doesn't have a filter like that. All the information needs to be processed. The thing that Lisa can do is block out some of that incoming information. You remember about her listening to music? That is a way to block out some of the conversations. Combine all those things and you realize that Lisa, her bucket, is filling up pretty fast. While I'm processing more than what is coming in, Lisa has more coming in than she can process. When the bucket is full and it starts pouring over the edge, that is the moment when a trigger happens. For her, today, that was getting a panic attack. The one thing that she can do is take the time, remove all the external factors and go sit underneath the staircase and take the time to process. When she felt like she could handle it again, she gets up and starts doing stuff. But her bucket is not empty. She can function again, and she can slow down by blocking all the things that are coming in, but she knows that one small input can trigger the panic attack again. After lunch, we played a few games and soon it was time to pack up our things and go back to Austria. On the bus, Lisa could watch the series on her phone with her headset on and guard her mind from external inputs. But still there is a big dilemma in her head. What about tomorrow? Will she be able to handle another day like this? And what about the content if she can't handle it? This was something that she was thinking about the whole day and the whole way back to Austria. Back at the hotel, she told me that she couldn't go to Slovakia the next day. She told it when I was in another room so she couldn't see my disappointment. This specific thing was eating her up. My reaction, what about the others? What about the video? What about the content? As soon as she told this, a weight fell off her shoulders and we started looking for a solution. And we found a really good one. And after that, we made ourselves ready to meet the others in a restaurant to enjoy a quiet evening with food, drinks, and good company. And even though Lisa had a lot to process about today, she could enjoy this moment. As I said before, the people knew that something like this could happen, and there were no questions asked. Just a very enjoyable evening with amazing company. And a perfect ending for a very difficult day. On day 3, we should go to Slovakia for an outdoor game with the other creators and a lot of different NOVRITSCH rifles. But we have other plans. Lisa couldn't handle another yesterday, so we found a solution to still be able to shoot footage and learn something. So we slept in a little bit so Lisa could recharge her batteries and we went in for some breakfast. Yesterday in the hotel we reached out to Doug. On our arrival on Friday in the HQ, he told us if Lisa needed something, if she needed an escape, a break, a room to think, or basically anything, we could call him and ask for help. So yesterday we did. On the phone we didn't discuss details about what we were going to do, only that there will be opportunities to take pictures, make videos, and talk about Airsoft, NOVRITSCH, and autism. Because Doug is also on the spectrum and has been a lifeline for Lisa during this whole event. Knowing that you can fall back on something when it's getting too much creates an ease of mind in a world of chaos. And being able to talk with someone that understands what is going on in your head instead of trying to explain it is calming. It's a way of processing the things that came in during the weekend. There was no pressure, no music, no other conversations. Basically, I was the biggest distraction while walking around and filming this footage.
I don't want everyone on the spectrum to be shoved into, oh, it's all and myself. And that's why I like having its own distinction. That's why I still say it.
2 hours later, the conversation switched from autism and everyday things to gear and textile. And for some reason, it is amazingly calming to listen to what he's saying. And that brought me to a perfect transition to more content creation. I even could start interfering with the conversation to get the shots that I needed. And that meant that both of them felt amazingly at ease in what they were doing.
So, do you run pistols?
No.
No.
Yeah, but I also want to every now and then run with a pistol just to use a pistol, but I never do it, and this will be the reason why I will do it.
On Friday, all the channels got an SSP5. Lisa didn't want to assemble it that day because it was another layer of stress, and it was already a stressful day. So I put all the parts on it for her, so her pistol was ready to be used on the Saturday. But building the SSP5 is actually really fun to do. So I took off all the parts again, and now Lisa can assemble the SSP5 together with Doug. And just like that, we went from textile to pistol building.
screw?
A pin.
A pin,
No?
yeah.
It's a pin.
I can hold it and you...
Oh, it's really not. I thought it would be so hard to resolve.
So this is flush here. In the 47 step.
Too far.
Good enough.
If you like look at the design language with all the little holes in it, like the guns and the textile stuff.
4.5 hours later, and we're still talking about gear, daily things, and NOVRITSCH products. This day just flew by, and the difference with yesterday couldn't be bigger. And even though there was a lot of information to process, both Dag and Lisa could talk without any external factors. They were in their little bubble. And for me, it's not always easy to see how people are doing and how they are feeling. But if you forget about time, food, and what is going on around you, I think you have a good time. And for that, I really want to thank Dag for coming in on a Sunday and helping us out here.
And there and to the front, and that's when we added the mesh bits area.
Meanwhile, the others were back from Slovakia and pizza was delivered to the NOVRITSCH HQ. This would be the last time together with all the creators on this 5-year anniversary weekend. And when you're at an airsoft company with airsofters, it doesn't take long before airsoft guns start appearing.
How was that today? It's good.
Really good.
What did you talk about?
Everything.
You would have to adjust the distance.
On this one, he's got another one. Shooting his ED line.
For us to earn, we were asking about the staff t-shirts, you know, with the pens and the patches. Because it's pretty. And he says you have only people that have seen Chris naked get to see him have a t-shirt.
Please, I'll
I didn't say that.
One thing left is to say our goodbyes and thank everyone for an amazing weekend. It wasn't the easiest weekend, but the fact that Lisa got the chance to be here in Austria at this SSP5 launch party meant a lot. She got the chance to show her side of the story without any restrictions, well, beside of the super secret project that they're working on. But a big thank you to everybody that made this weekend possible.
You should get another t-shirt.
The Belgian name or the Dutch name is Schaap. And then this is like the small.
The uniqueness of each person with autism makes the experience of living with autism different for each person. Understanding that people are different and will react different is the first step in creating an environment where they can be who they are. Autistic people tend to communicate differently from non-autistic people, and they might struggle with interpreting non-verbal social cues or neurotypical rules for social communication. This can lead to them being labeled rude for not following those rules. We came across some of the daily struggles Lisa faces by going out. Autism doesn't go away, you can only adapt to it and try to find what works for you. And by spreading awareness, more people will understand what is happening so they can give you the space if you need it. I'm grateful that I could work on this project, and I want to thank everyone involved. There are too many to name, and I don't want to forget anyone. But thank you. We are almost home, and Lisa can finally start processing the weekend.